But also, there's another yugituber named Squiddy. He just went to Japan to try playing the Japan tournaments, like local tournaments. But he was turned away. He was turned away, or they were like others were like very hesitant because the main reason is he doesn't speak Japanese. So
I presumed
like,
in this situation he spoke Japanese, but okay.
no, he doesn't speak. He doesn't speak Japanese.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it was irony.
Oh, but like he made a video on it, and basically saying like how one shot was just turned away because it's like really complicated. It basically just makes things too complicated. It's just like everyone else speaks Japanese. It's just gonna be hard to communicate with you, especially if you don't know what all the cards do. But he made his case. A lot of it's understanding. Since some shops they might deal with foreigners that they might like speak another language, which is like unfair to the Japanese player that doesn't speak the language at all, or maybe they don't really follow like a lot of Japanese customs. Like one thing he said he did is like take pictures of the shop and of some of the players and things like that. But like in Japan, that's considered like rude and borderline harassment.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this is a. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I got
in my opinion,
a lot of things to say about that.
In my opinion, a lot of it is like understandable, but like in America or in the West in general, it's not really a thing. Like if someone just comes in, no matter what background they are, if they don't speak the language, if they have a disability, if they don't, they don't know how things are, then we do our best to make them feel welcome. You don't speak the language, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Right.
But in Japan, it's how they are.
It's just a different culture.
Yeah, it's how they are. But me personally, I don't think it's right. I get it. It might make things a little bit complicated, but you have places like Europe, and even in America, but like even like Europe, where there's like so many different languages and so many different like in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's so many different places where you could meet a person who speaks a whole different language. It's like, but Yu-Gi-Oh is usually it's typically like a universal thing. As long as if you have some like competency on the basic metagame or cards in general, then you can typically tell like what's happening.
I think a lot of people don't realize how different the cultures are in the West and the East. And it's not only in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's in a lot of different kind of areas, right? Like if you travel, you can't be like, for example, like when you go to the gym, right? People tend to be dressed a little bit more modestly than over here, right? On both sides for men and women. So,
he did mention how like he didn't something he just didn't know.
Right. I think it's fine to not know. I'm not gonna knock because a lot of people just don't know, but have the best of intentions, and that's kind of like why a lot of countries hate maybe the West, or I mean even Americans, because we don't know, which is fine. I think it's fine that we don't know because we got so much going on over here, but that's another subject. But I don't know the complete situation, but I'm sure he had the best of intentions. And
yeah, of course, yeah, he did.
So.
Yeah, it's just Japan's just they're the X word.
What?
The X word.
The X word. It's just a different culture.
I mean, what
is their culture?
What is that? Okay.
I don't think that makes them the X word. The X word.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it definitely does.
I don't think so. I disagree. It's just a different culture.
I mean,
do you know their conviction rate is like 90-something%? So if you go through the criminal justice system, you're going to jail.
Okay, but it's like,
it's a different culture over there.
like it doesn't. Okay, I get it. It's a different culture, but that doesn't mean they're not. Like,
I think that's, bruh. You know how
That's
I
it-
am, and
that's
even
it.
I think that's like
no, that's
ridiculous.
That is not ridiculous. Like that's what they are. If you don't,
I
dude,
disagree-
if you don't let
disagree.
me, if you don't let anybody, if you have a restaurant, if it's normal for restaurants in Japan or in any place to not let in anybody, like in Japan, right? If it's normal for you not to let anyone else in who's not Japanese, that's come on. That's like the definition. Like, come on, dude.
bro. All right, I can talk about this for like hours. That's not the subject today. That's not even what this podcast is about. We're here to play some Yu-Gi-Oh. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Yu-Gi-Oh instead of
It is
multiculturalism.
I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
Shout out to Japan, though. We love y'all.
Oh.